Hello, everybody. We're going to talk about our carbon footprint. The aim of this lesson is to be able to use the term carbon footprint to describe my impact on the environment. Think about your daily morning routine. You wake up in the morning, stop the alarm from ringing, you maybe have a shower, wash your face, brush your teeth using the water. Maybe the water is warm, you have your breakfast, which means you might get out some cereal or some bread, some fruits. These fruits might have traveled from different places to get here. They might have come from Brazil over with the ship, or they might have come from Italy with the plane. Then get dressed. Think about your clothes. Your clothes might have been made in China. They might have been made in Germany, for example, and traveled over here. They might have needed quite a few machines to make the clothes too, which might have used electricity. Get your lunch. You might have tomatoes that come from Spain. All these foods might have gotten here through different means, and all of them probably needed electricity to be made. Hello, everybody. So, we're going to talk about our carbon footprint. And the aim of today's lesson is that you can use the term carbon footprint to describe your impact on the environment. So, let's start. Think about your daily morning routine. Your alarm rings in the morning, wake up. It could be that your alarm was set on your mobile phone that had been charging throughout the night. You might get out of bed, have a shower or wash your face, brush your teeth, using water that was probably heated up with a water heater. You'll get some breakfast. Then you'll get some breakfast. You put on your uniform if you're going to school, or you get changed. And think about those clothes. They might have been made in China. They also might have been made in Germany. And think about how they got here. Did they get here by ship? Maybe with the plane? And what machines were used to make those clothes? Did they use electricity? Get your lunch or break. You might have fruits and vegetables that are not produced in Malta. They might have also been brought here by ship or by plane. They might have been coming from Spain or Italy, but they might also have been coming from Brazil, on the other side of the world. You might be eating chicken or meat or ham that might have needed machines to refrigerate the meat once it has been traveling. Then you get on the minivan or the car and come to school or go to work. Think about the fuel that car or minivan is using. So all these different activities, just in the first hour of the morning, are using up different types of energy. They've been made in different ways. Some of them are using different types of fuel directly, such as the van. If for every time we use something, every time we eat something, every time we travel, we make a tiny impact on the environment. Wouldn't it be interesting? Imagine there was a way to calculate your impact on the environment. So, this is the carbon footprint. A carbon footprint is a measure of the impact our activities have on the environment, like the activities we were mentioning before. It calculates the greenhouse gases we are expected to produce in all our activities. So, the carbon footprint measures the impact we have on the environment by taking all the activities that we do, such as, for example, eating a banana, and seeing all the greenhouse gases that were actually used to get the banana to us, or all the greenhouse gases that were actually released when we took the car from home to work or from home to school. So carbon footprint measured in units of carbon dioxide. It measures what we're doing in terms of carbon dioxide, what amount of carbon dioxide is being released from the activities we do. What is in an average carbon footprint? So if we look at it, there's some of it that is coming from electricity. So for example, the phone and the charging of the phone, there's around 7% is relating to flights or commuting, which is going to work or to school every day and back. 9% comes from clothes, so where they were made, how they got here, if there were any machines used to make them. 12% also goes to health, so anything to do with hospital, with medication, any medication we take, how it got here, what was used to make the medication, how the medication was produced, if electricity was needed to test out the medication. And also quite a large part, 13% of our carbon footprint, so 13% of all the carbon dioxide we make, is coming from food, and around the same amount from heating and from the household, such as things like the dishwasher, the fridge, the oven. So as you can see, our different activities all make up our carbon footprint. Each of these things and each of these activities all release carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide can be calculated together to create our carbon footprint. So, the average carbon footprint of one person per year. So, the unit of the carbon footprint is kilograms of carbon dioxide per person per year. Okay, so these are all average numbers, the average number for one person in one country. Okay, so if we look at the middle, we take the world. An average person in the world every single year makes 4,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide, which is already quite a bit. If you look at countries like China, the UK and America, they make a lot more. So America, for example, produces 21,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide per person per year. In the UK, every single person, on average, produces around 10,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Just one person in 1 year. If you look at countries like Brazil in South America, Nigeria in Africa, and Nepal in Asia, all these countries use a much lower carbon footprint than countries like America and the UK. Which country do you think has the highest carbon footprint? A developing country, a country that still might need to work on its standard of living, a country that still needs to work on its standard of living, or a developed country, a country that has generally quite a good standard of living. Exactly. Usually developing countries have a low carbon footprint, and a developed country has a higher carbon footprint, like we just saw before. So as a country develops, its carbon footprint tends to increase. Why does this happen? Why do you think a country like America a higher carbon footprint than Brazil or Nepal? Think about it. When a country develops, usually it increases and improves its transport, which means more planes, better roads. Since there are better roads, there's even more cars on the road because people might have a better pay. They're encouraged to buy a car and use it more often. When a country develops, they use more appliances like fridges, microwaves, ovens. More technology is used like computers, mobiles, tablets. And all these appliances and technology all need to use electricity. Usually when a country develops, people generally eat more. They eat more food. They eat more food that's imported from different countries, which means there's also the impact of the shipping or the transport taking place that's burning fuel to get here, and especially when a country develops, people generally eat more meat. And meat, when compared to vegetables, has a much higher carbon footprint as it needs a lot more electricity, heating, and materials to be produced. All the things we said, better transport, more cars, more planes, more appliances, more technology, more food and more meat, especially from different countries, these, many of them use fuel. Many of them burn fossil fuel to get here, and many of them need electricity to run. And the electricity comes from burning fossil fuels generally. So these all increase the carbon footprint of the country. Let's do the final check. A carbon footprint is 1. A measure of the impact our activities have on the environment, or a number that tells us how the environment affects us. Exactly, it's 1. A carbon footprint is a measure of the impact our activities have on the environment. A carbon footprint is measured in the amount of kilometers we drive, or in carbon dioxide per person per year. That's it. The answer is a carbon footprint is measured in carbon dioxide per person per year. And the last question, when a country becomes more developed, the carbon footprint decreases, or does it increase? When a country becomes more developed, more technology, more appliances, better roads, more transport, more food is needed. These all need electricity and burn fossil fuels, so the carbon footprint increases. Okay, remember, geography is everywhere.